Hello and welcome to this edition of Polymers and You. Today we will be examining polyethylene. Polyethylene has a monomer of ethene. Ethene is C2H4 with a double bond between the carbons as seen in this diagram. Polyethylene is developed by either using ethene or ethane from crude oil or natural gas. Polyethylene is manufactured using many different catalysts. A couple of them are metallocene, Ziegler, and chromium silica.
Wake up! Polyethylene is used for the extreme sport of whitewater kayaking. As seen in this video, the kayak is withstanding in very extreme conditions. About 40 years ago, woods and fiberglasses were used as the main component of kayaks. Now, a much stronger polymer has taken its place. This is the sole reason that this kayaker is able to go over a world record 186-foot waterfall without any serious injury or damage to the kayak. Polyethylene is divided up into many subcategories of bonding sequences. Today we're focusing on the three main ones that are found in everyday kayaks. First, we're going to talk about high-density polyethylene. High-density polyethylene is made from natural gas and petroleum byproducts. The high-density polyethylene is also a very commonly recycled product, and it has very strong intermolecular forces. The second bonding sequence we're going to talk about is called cross-linked polyethylene, which has an abbreviation of PXE. Cross-linked polyethylene is basically our polymer strung together a bunch of different times repeatedly in one long chain, and it is also covalently bonded. The last bonding sequence we're going to talk about is called ultra-high molecular weight. The reason that it is called that is because if you were to add up the molecular weight, it would actually be between 2 to 6 million. Another common fact about ultra-high molecular weight is that it has a very low moisture absorbance, which is really good for kayaks because you don't want water being absorbed inside of them. Another common fact is that it's odorless, it's tasteless, and it's non-toxic, so it is used for many other things other than just kayaks. Now we're moving on to the manufacturing process of polyethylene. The process shown is for high-density compounds. In this video, powdered polyethylene is used. The powder is poured into the mold, which is then put through a process known as rotational molding. The mold is rotated on two axes and continually heated to a temperature of about 205 degrees Celsius. After some last-minute details are performed, the end result is a kayak, all of which would not be possible without our polymer, polyethylene.
Now that we've seen the manufacturing process, let's look at some of the results. First, let's look at high-density polyethylene kayaks. This Jackson villain here is made out of high density. The advantage is the reduced cost of manufacturing. The sacrifice, however, is that it's not as strong and as durable as other kayaks. The Jackson villain is also made in cross-linked polyethylene. The difference is about $150 in cost, but the advantage is the cross-linked has more durability and also has a tendency to be resilient and reform the shape of the kayak if it is slightly dented without compromising hull integrity. Lastly, we have the Prion Pure. This is made out of ultra-high molecular weight polyethylene. The advantage is it has a friction coefficient roughly equivalent to Teflon and has abrasion resistance 15 times greater than that of carbon steel. However, in order to get all these advantages, you're going to have to pay about $1,500, which is about $100 more expensive than the equivalent kayak.
Now here's some random facts about polyethylene. Polyethylene is the world's most commonly used plastic. For example, it's used in things from grocery bags to bulletproof vests.
Polyethylene was developed about 110 years ago by accident by a German scientist.
About 60 million tons of polyethylene are produced annually, and about 1/3 of all children's toys are made from polyethylene.
No, sir, don't worry at all. But when I break the mold and shake the whole game, so surely they'll fall.
Don't you figure it's a little bit twisted, this bull that gets rotated? In most cases don't say, but we're still listening. And MCs, if you decide to push your views aside and choose to ride whatever's popular at the moment, then do it. I'll just make music that's dissonant.